Welcome to RotoGrinders Today. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. BlenderHD, BlenderHD. You're going to follow me on Twitter. And it's Thursday, November 21st. We'll be taking a look at some props and pick'em picks for NFL Week 12. So hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. Give me those thummy thumbs. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. It's a pretty light day today. We got some basketball today, I guess. Hockey's today. I like hockey. So we got all the stuff going on in the Discord for NHL. Join that. RotoGrinders.com/Discord. But today, a guy I haven't seen in so long. It's Grant Neefer over at Scores and Odds and Parlay IQ. Your DFS days, Grant. Your DFS days long past you, and now all it is bet. You're in Colorado. You get 700 million books there. Long time no see.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. And I mean, I'm not fully done in the DFS streets. Football, I definitely play every single week of football season, every single year. That's the one I can't get away. Like, I'm already doing all the research anyways. Why not wake up a few hours earlier on a Sunday and put in 150 lineups and just print some money? But just gambling every single day. It's my dream. It's my dream is just to gamble every day. I'm never retiring.
Well, I have to give you credit for something that helped me out. I knew it, but I decided not to. Last month, you tweeted out on Twitter, because you use the boosts, right? We a lot of times these sites give these like parlay boosts, and I get them also. Typically, FanDuel, I may only get $5 or $10. DraftKings, I could get like up to 100 sometimes. Caesars, maybe 25 or whatever. Now it's not a big portion of what I'm betting or anything, but I've always played them a little bit more conservative. Like, I'm not stupid on like, oh, I'm going to boost something, a minus 105, 50% profit boost. Like, that's stupid, right? But I would just like, okay, are there 4 or 5 things in a game that I currently have, and I just put them together? I already have them straight in an SGP, right? So I'll just put them together, and it ends up being like plus 1,200, and then you get the 50% profit boost on top of that. I saw you on Twitter. You're like, no, we're doing the boost. We're going for glory, right? We're putting together 8, 9 leg, 10 leg things, so you get the boost is like, oh, it should pay out a 7,500, but now it's going to pay out 11,000. So you're getting an extra several $1,000. You're not going to hit them often at all, but like then it's much more worthy. You should do it, and I've been doing that. And if you saw last month in hockey, I hit one for $12,000.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. Yeah, no, I mean it's really simple. Like, you don't realize the boost. Yeah, you think you can use it on a straight bet. Well, you're getting a 50% boost on one bet there. If you do it on 5 leg parlay, really simple. You get a 50% boost on the first one, 50% chance of that hitting. You get a 25% boost on the second one. Essentially, you're getting boosted with every single leg. So
right.
if parlays get a bad rap because everyone's like, oh, they're huge rake. Like, most of the books make most of their money off of parlays. Unequivocal. But if every leg of the parlay is positive EV, which if you're boosting it 50%, every leg is immediately positive EV. I mean, SPGs, sometimes they can take away a little bit of correlation and blah, 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 this, that. But just straight parlays, my favorite thing every single Saturday, while I'm in the bathroom, I sit and make a 10-leg stepped-up parlay to maximize the boost. I hit like 1 or 2 a year, and you'll lose $10, $20 every single week. And then, boom, you hit one for $3,000, and you got the 60% ROI you should get on 100% boost.
It's kind of like DFS GPPs, right? That's what the graph is going to look like. And the thing is that if you use our statistical projections here at RotoGrinders for NBA, for NHL, we got NFL projections. Obviously, we got the blitz, we got the bat for baseball, we got ton shot quality for NBA. Is that you're not just randomly putting like an 8-leg thing together? Like, it's 8 bets that I already have as plus EV straight, over 18.5 points for so-and-so in basketball at minus 110 is like 17% edge. It's like, well, that edge gets now multiplied by the 8 legs in your parlay, and then you get the 50% whatever profit boost on top of that. And if you happen to hit all of them, you're getting, the parlay in and of itself without the boost is actually plus EV because all your bets are plus EV. And now you get an even bigger boost on top of it. Why? Because I would always look and, like DraftKings would show you like how much extra you get. Like Caesars does that also. And it's like, well, do you want to get like an extra $12 on a plus 110 bet, or do you want to get an extra $1,200 on a plus $1,800 bet? It's like, well, I'll take the more raw money, being that all things being equal, especially if I'm betting them all straight to begin with. So it's like, what's the worst case scenario? I don't hit all 10 of them. If I hit all 9 of them, I made a lot of money that day anyway.
Yep. No, it's all about don't sacrifice. I mean, it's all up to your bankroll, but don't sacrifice long-term profit for short-term volatility is what I do. Can't suggest that to everyone, but I'm going long-term profit over short-term drastic swings.
Right. Well, the same thing for bonus bets. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that, when you get a bonus bet, you shouldn't be putting that on a minus 250 or something. I mean, like,
yeah,
usually putting the bonus bets on I put bonus bets on. Sometimes you get them for like live betting or something like that. It's like, dude, I'm third tight end to score a touchdown for plus 2,400. It's like, there you go. That's when it's plus 2,400 on one book and it's like plus 800 on other books. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll see if this happens. It's a bonus bet. I'm not going to get my original stake back, so I might as well put it on the highest EV bet I could find that's a long shot as possible.
Yep, I always used it on futures at the end of every single baseball and basketball season because their championships are 6 months apart. I always have not fully the board covered, but I always have thousands of dollars in bonus bets on all the teams that are like, this is undervalued throughout the season. Like, I'll make them all the way throughout the season. Like, this is undervalued on FanDuel. I have a bonus bet on FanDuel. I'm hitting this. I mean, I think when the Nuggets won last year, I got like 15 grand all from bonus bets. And those bonus bets have run dry because I keep making too much money. So that's kind of gone. But it got me a nice 50 grand over the last few years. But I'm ready to get in some bets. I've been researching quite a bit. I got some props. We can pull, what is it called on Prize Picks? A flex 5, flex 6.
We could do a 6 on Prize Picks, even though you don't have it where you are. But we'll reference the sports books. If we start, do you have anything from I typically want to throw in some passing, some receiving, some rushing, it could be attempts, it could be anything. I know
I've got
we
some.
We can go all over the place if you want. I mean, I got the blitz projections pulled up anyway, so we could compare the two.
Yeah, let's see. I want to check if is Achane rushing attempts. No, they don't have rushing attempts there. That was the ones I was looking for. But let's look at passing. I've got a few of them on here. I want to hear what you have to say. We'll check the blitz. But Bo Nix is the first one I want to look at for passing yards. I got him at 212. Let's see if that has moved. Okay. It's moved slightly, so it's showing at 213.5. Very marginal difference. So he's been fantastic recently. He's been so good. Been playing great football. This is a spot. They're favored by, what was it, 4? Let me pull this up again.
No, they're favored by more than 4 against the Raiders.
6. Yeah, sorry. I wrote this up yesterday, so I don't remember everything off the top of my head, but it's still good. Vegas, not great versus the pass, not great versus the run either, but this is playing in a dome. Like, huge upgrade playing over in Vegas for Bo Nix, playing in a dome. That should help. He plays over in Denver. Obviously, it's been cold. There's been some wind. It's an outdoor stadium, so immediate upgrade. He's hit the over in this number, I think, last 4 games, or at least come close in 3 out of 4, whatever it is. Sorry, looking it up right now. Yeah, he's hit the over at this number in each of the past 4 games. He's been playing really well. Some have been shootouts, some have been blowouts. He's been just on a tear. He's looked great, in line with his receivers. yes, they're a 6-point favorite, but last week they were up by 20 points and they were still passing the ball. I mean, Sean Payton wants to get him confident, wants to keep him going, wants to keep all this just moving forward, potentially into the playoffs. So he's going to be throwing the ball regardless of if they're up by 6 or 14 or whatever. They'll still be throwing the ball a decent amount. I mean, if it's a huge blowout, they'll probably take him out and calm down. But I don't expect it to be a huge blowout with a 6-point spread. Raiders have been keeping teams close. So I'm expecting a decent game out of, or a good game out of him here. And sitting at 213.5 is probably too low of a line. What does the Blitz have for him?
The Blitz has his mean projection at 250. RG has its mean projection that you could see on the overlay. And if you're a premium member here, you get our props and pick 'em package. You could use the Chrome extension for Prize Picks and Underdog it'll just overlay it over, and you could just eyeball it if you want to go on Prize Picks or Underdog and look at it. So it says here 230.6, which is not absurdly over, but the Blitz has it at 250. The best line available, at least to me, I always have to put up my hands of, like in Kentucky, we got 6 sports books here. So I only know what it is here. Over 213.5 minus 110 on Bet365. And if you're limited there, then you'd go to BetMGM. It's at minus 115, and then DraftKings has it at minus 120. So I'm perfectly fine with this. I mean, it shows at that 213.5 minus 110 as a 47.12% edge in the Blitz. It shows as positive here for RG. So I'm going to call that Blitz approved, and let's put Bo Nix more than 213.5 passing yards on our card. Just to be clear, because Prize Picks does ding you for correlation now. Typically, me and Will Grant, we don't play correlated plays in our Prize Picks card anymore because they ding you too much. Because I was going to say, it's like, well, should we be looking at Cortland Sutton overs? Should we be looking at stuff like that as well? But I'm not adding that to the card, regardless. So if you got anything else for receiving, we don't want it to be correlated with Bo Nix.
Yep. No, I mean, you can put in the effort and the work to figure out if the correlation is worth it based on the adjusted odds.
I'm telling you, Grant, I've done it. That they actually ding you way too much now that you don't want. You actively do not want to have them.
Yeah. I'm talking more on other sports. I don't bother too often. Island games I will, but on weekends I'm not bothering with correlated picks. I'll just take the parlay, know what the odds are, know what the juice is, or rake. Let's look at another one I really like is Hubbard.
Okay.
49.5 rushing yards.
Okay. Are we sure that Jonathan Brooks isn't going to play this week?
I mean, I don't care if he plays. This line's still too low.
Okay. So to you, this isn't like a dependent thing on if he plays or if he doesn't. Because, I mean, the Blitz really doesn't project him for, like, anything.
Yeah. I mean, if he plays, he's probably not going to play too much. It's kind of irrelevant. Hubbard he is the workhorse back in this lineup. I mean, Brooks will probably eat into more of Miles Sanders' work anyways. But Hubbard is getting a ton of run. I mean, they're still trying to be mediocre. They're going to be mediocre, but going up against the Chiefs, it is a tougher matchup, but 49.5 rushing yards is just too low. He's hit the over at this number, let's see, every single week since week 1. So might have over-adjusted because of potential Brooks and what he might end up doing in this game. But this line's too low. I mean, I know the Chiefs are a great defense. But it doesn't really matter. The Panthers are still going to rush the ball a decent amount. Like, it's going to happen. They don't want to pass the ball. They just want to sit there, be inept on the passing game, but just get Young some work, or Dalton, whoever ends up playing. You never know any given week. But Hubbard is going to rush the ball probably 17, 18 times. 49.5 rushing yards is too low, but I don't know what the Blitz has to say about that. I think I checked yesterday.
The Blitz and the RG projections are diametrically different. I mean, by a lot. Like RG, we have the projection at 50.2 as a median, which is just like it's there. The blitz has him at 87 yards. I think that's a little too high. I think that's based on Brooks getting nothing. Sanders is not. I mean, Sanders is injured, so he's not even going to play. Yeah, I agree with you that yeah, obviously the Chiefs are probably going to be ahead in this game, but the Panthers are down 2 touchdowns and they're still running the ball. So
Yep.
I'm with you here that I still think the Panthers, especially in the beginning, I mean, a lot of teams against the Chiefs. I mean, this is the football guy take. Just I'm putting up my hands because I'm a numbers guy, not a football guy. But I've been told that teams don't like putting the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, right? And especially with the Chiefs now that run these like 14 play, 9-minute drives that end up in the score. That I think the Panthers don't want to put the ball in his hand for as often, and that means running the ball and keeping possession and keeping the clock moving. I'm much more interested. It's not available on Prize Picks on the rush attempts rather than the yards. But I mean, I'm fine with the yards as well. But I think this is. I think this projection has a lot to do with whether and how much work do you think Jonathan Brooks gets or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, and there is. Oh wait, no, it's Chubb, not Hubbard. The line for Hubbard rushing attempts isn't even out right now.
Right.
But yeah, and something you can look at when you're making these prize picks, pick 5s, pick 6s. So there's kind of a perfect attempt or a perfect scenario. If you look at Hubbard's rushing yard lines, so at Caesars, juice on the over is -133. At DraftKings, juice on the over is -125. On Bet365, juice on the over -125. MGM, just terrible line out there, -110 on the over. So if you have MGM, I love it over there. But you can see that like smart people are betting this early on. That's why the line's moving up. That's why there's heavy juice on the over, because it came in at -115, -115 over under. And so on a prize picks, pick 5, pick 6, I think the effective line for each one is at -119. So you're actually getting a better line over on prize picks by throwing it in this than you are betting it on a sports book. So you'll find those scenarios.
BetMGM has over 49.5 at -110. So
yeah,
but of course,
BetMGM's never going to let me bet anything there again.
Right. Well, that's why I always preface the MGM and the 365s are kind of like, if you could get down there, here are the numbers, and then here are the numbers elsewhere. Also, I'm fortunate enough that I'm not limited to pennies on either of the two sides.
I was fortunate. I went to Vegas, and I am not limited in Vegas because it's a different system for MGM. So I got a full 4 days of unlimited MGM betting and made like $4,000. And now I'm currently in arguments with them about
were you doing it at the counter, or were you doing a kiosk or something? I mean,
so I hadn't used the online app before in Nevada, so
okay.
I did that. But yeah, other than that, like I'll go hit up multiple kiosks. I don't care to get 500 down on a bet, and they'll put 200 in here and 200 in here and 100 in here. Like I don't care. I'll hit all the kiosks. But yeah, so I mean that's why Vegas is really a work trip for me almost every time, and it's fun. But I'm generally putting down a decent amount of money on MGM and Caesars because I can get money down there at the kiosks or for a short period of time on their apps. But let's look at another line. I wonder if White.
We're talking about Rashad White?
White's sitting at Rashad White under rushing yards is something I already bet. And so there's another one where outside of Bet Rivers, the line's moving pretty heavily towards the under. I bet it at, 115 or -110 yesterday. And Bet365 still has it at -110. So if you can get it there, go take it. But at Prize Picks, again, the effective odds are -119 on pick 5, pick 6. So White going up against the Giants, yes, they are projected to lead in this game. But Evans is coming back. They're likely going to rely on the running game a little less because they don't have the only choice of throwing to Kate Otten over and over again. But White, I think, has hit this, twice this season? Rashad White. Looking at his game log,
it's all because, I mean, a lot of times Rashad White is, he's on the field more, but he's getting passes out of the backfield and not getting as many rushes compared to Bucky Irving.
Yeah, not getting as many rushes compared to Bucky Irving. And also, he's incredibly inefficient. Like 3.8 yards per rush on the season. That's not good. I mean, the Giants' defense is not great, but yeah, it's going to be Bucky getting some work, Taylor getting some work. Taylor, Sean, whatever it is. He's only gotten more than 10 rushing attempts one time this season, and that was week 1. Irving is the guy that's going to rush the ball. He'll get some play in the receiving game, but White's going to get a ton of targets throughout the game. So 42 is drastically too high. Again, he's hit this twice this year, once against Atlanta, once against Philadelphia, and the Atlanta game went to overtime, and only reason he hit that, which I'm still pissed about because I think I had the under in that one, was a 56-yard run. Other than that, his longest 2 runs of the season are 17 and 15, and he has not had a run over 10 outside of those 3 runs. So the volume is probably not going to be there. Like, again, has not had more than 10 rushing attempts since week 1. And he has broken off 3 total runs of over 10 yards. So, yeah, he could break off 4 runs of 8-9 yards, or he could break off a big one. Chance of that happen, unlikely. This is like I have it at over a 60% chance of hitting the under, and I'm pretty sure that the Blitz is going to agree with me.
Yep, the Blitz is actually more positive than the RG projections. RG projections has his mean at 31.7 rushing yards. The Blitz has him at 33 rushing yards. The best line available, under 43.5, minus 110, bet 365. You could get that same number at minus 120 at MGM. And I mean, like, Caesars has the worst number at under 41.5, minus 137. But DraftKings has under 43.5, minus 130. PrizePicks has 42.5, and it's probably sitting around, minus 120 or so, for 42.5 compared to the sports book. So, I mean, this is plus EV on PrizePicks as it is. Obviously, I'd rather take it on bet 365. But as we said before, if you could get more than $6 down there, go do it, right? If you can.
Yep. No, it's my dream. I missed the bet 365 days. Let's look at some other ones. We want to throw receiving.
Yeah, we need 3 more. Well, it's up to you, Grant. We're across the whatever bet you want. Let's take a look.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of receiving ones. Dalton Schultz. Let's see. Yeah, they've got it 24.5 receiving yards. Line's too low. Like Tennessee.
I mean, just when you mentioned it, my first reaction was that seems pretty low.
It's very low, and I don't really understand. So it's interesting. It might be low, maybe because Tennessee's given up the least amount of passing yards this season, but really they're not that great of a pass defense. They're a much better run defense. They've given up the least amount of passing yards because, one, they've been trailing pretty big almost all season long. And for 2, you look at their schedule and you look at it like, all right, those are bad quarterbacks, but they're not, or bad passing offenses, but they've got some good ones in there. The good ones in there are, Green Bay? Guess what? Who was starting that game? Malik Willis. So, no, that was not good. Miami, not a bad passing offense. That was one of the Huntley games.
Right.
So, they faced 2 good quarterbacks all season long. One of them was Josh Allen, and he put up 330. And the other one was Herbert, who only threw the ball 18 times because guess what? They didn't have to. There's a spot here where I think Houston is still going to pass the ball a decent enough amount. Nico Collins came in last week, only had, I think, a 47% snap rate. It'll go up this week, but against the Titans, are they really going to go full bore with Nico Collins? I don't think so. Schultz has been good this season. I think he's hit this in 5 straight. Let me check here, pull up his game log. I think he's hit this in 5 straight. 5 out of the last 6, or actually 7 out of the last 8.
Right.
So he's been hitting
much.
this.
Truthfully, it doesn't take much to hit 24.5 when his reception prop is also 2.5 receptions. I mean, it's just Like, I mean, it's not like Schultz is necessarily one of these guys that only gets 3-yard passes. I mean, he gets passes that are 15, 20 yards down the field also.
Yeah, no, he'll get his median long reception is like 12 or 16. So, like, over 50% chance that he gets a 16-yard reception, or probably right around 50. And guess what? You're 80% of the way there. He gets 6 targets most games. Like, I think he's hit over 5 and 80% of 5 targets and over 80% of games. He has a high catchability rate. Like, he's the safety valve. And again, the Titans are a very good rush defense. The spread on this isn't huge. So the chances of a blowout here are still there, but it's not nearly as much as people think, because everyone's like, oh, yeah, the Texans are going to absolutely destroy the Titans. Titans have been hanging around a decent amount of games. The spread's at 8. Again, we've seen multiple different games with 8-point spreads, 7-point spreads where they lose, the underdog wins outright. So Schultz should get the volume to get there with this. I really like that bet.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz, best number in market is FanDuel, over 24.5 minus 114. And when I say in market, I mean here in Kentucky. Over 24.5 minus 114. It's already up to 25.5 on pretty much all the other books, even offshore. 25.5 on Prize Picks. It's 24.5. Blitz and the RG projections are pretty much even, right? We see RG projection on the screen, 37.9, and the Blitz has him at 38. So I'm going to call this Blitz approved. I mean, truth. This is all these bets, Grant, are stuff I already put in yesterday for myself. So like
nice,
kind of like I know where we're going, right? It's gonna. If you have it, I probably have it also. Okay, so we need two more to make a 6 pick here on Prize.
All right, let's look at Keenan Allen. I think line's a little bit higher than other books. I still like it. Most of the books have it at largely 39 Prize Picks, which I'm still fine with. So Keenan Allen obviously has not had a great season, but there is not a single person in the NFL. No, I can't say that. Not many people in the NFL that could run an offense worse than Waldron ran the offense with Caleb Williams. It was terrible. Him gone, getting the ball out really quickly last week. Like, he got the ball out, I think, at the fastest rate in the league last week, which is what they need. Keenan Allen was not being used how he should be used early on in the season. He's come more into play the last 4 weeks, 8 targets, 6 targets, 10 targets, 7 targets. So he's been getting a lot of work, and he's been right around this number, 41, 44, 36, 39 receiving yards. So in this spot, I know that they don't want to do too much with Caleb Williams, be a little safe. They're facing the Vikings. Vikings, obviously one of the best, probably the best defense in the league so far this year. Great against the pass, but they're even better against the run. They force the highest percentage of passes in the entire league. Second is Baltimore. We've seen how this has gone. Vikings giving up the 4th most passing yards on the season, despite being probably one of the best pass defenses. It's just because of volume. Teams are forced to throw the ball heavily against the Vikings, and they blitz at a huge clip. They're always keeping people off balance, changing the timing. Flores does great over there. So the main guy, or one of the main guys who's going to be used a lot in this spot, is going to be Keenan Allen, because Caleb Williams is going to have to get the ball out very quickly. So we didn't put Allen in or Williams in for this one, right? We just have Bo Nix for the passing yards.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah,
all the Bears receivers this week. I mean, when I pulled up projections for this week, even for DFS purposes, it's like, why are the Bears receivers all project much better than I thought against a great Brian Flores Vikings defense? But you're absolutely right that maybe they're not efficient, but they should be passing a lot here, and these numbers are just low, especially for a receiver like Keenan Allen. you would figure on blitzes, like it's less likely that that Williams is going to be able to get it to the outside with Moore and Odunze. He's much more likely to throw to Allen or Kmet for these like 6 yard, 7 yard passes. And you get 5 or 6. These are like 90% catchable targets. So like you get 6 targets like that. I mean, going over more than 40.5 seems like, as long as they don't completely crap the bed. I mean, the Bears receivers should all have yardage in this game.
Yeah, no, they all should. I mean, I am all over pretty much all the Bears receiving overs. I haven't hit a Dunze, but again, just what you mentioned, blitzing, the guys he's most likely to throw to are Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet. I have their overs on both receiving yards and on receptions. And I have Caleb Williams over on passing yards. I'm all over this. And again, 3.5 point dog in this spot. It's not going to surprise me to see the Vikings get out to an early lead. I think they've all season long gotten out to early leads. So the passing volume is what we want here. And everything kind of lines up towards that. Because again, Vikings force the most passing play percentage in the league by a decent margin. They allow the 5th most passing yards. And again, the 2 guys that are going to be the ones that are going to be the first quick reads, especially when a blitz is coming in, is going to be Keenan Allen. It's going to be Cole Kmet. So there it is. There's the volume. And Keenan Allen, heavily used recently. And with Waldron gone, he should continue to be used heavily.
Okay, let's get one more.
Someone's asking about Taco Bell. I had this show, so I have not gotten it yet. I will. I will as soon as the show is done.
Didn't you post earlier that you were getting some breakfast empanada or something?
I've been up since 6 a.m. just craving the empanada, and then I'm like, oh, shoot. Taco Bell opens at 9, but I'll be on the show. So as soon as this is done, I'm going to Taco Bell for the empanada. It's been gone for like a decade, and it's one of my favorite fast food desserts. And it's incredible, and I've missed it for a full decade, and it's finally back as of today. So get the Taco Bell app. This is not a sponsorship. I am not paid by Taco Bell. I'm just a large consumer of Taco Bell. How many picks do we have in this? 5 or 4?
We got 5 in it, but I get the sense, Grant, that you're the type of person that has on his calendar or some type of reminder, a notification on the phone. You'll be the first to know when the McRib is back at McDonald's. Like when the McRib is back. Right?
December 3rd. Also, or maybe that's the drop you can buy. I can't remember when it is. A full gallon of McRib sauce. They're selling that, and I think it's in 4 days. Yeah, it's in 4 days. If you want a full gallon of McRib sauce, they're dropping it, limited supply. If you need that, my wife will kill me if I get a full gallon McRib sauce. But yeah, McRib's coming back, I believe, December 3rd. So
I was saying this as a joke, and then you just before I could stop. Yeah, December 3rd. Yeah, I know. It's on my calendar, of course. Why wouldn't?
Not my calendar. I know numbers well, and I remember numbers well.
Right.
And I love fast food, so. Yeah, I look forward to a lot of different releases.
Right, you need to. People need to follow you just for the fast food tips.
Yeah, no. FYI, if you missed it this year, next year the Kerner Burger at Culver's, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah,
Culver's is low key good, underrated. Good.
So I had never eaten a Culver's burger. The cheese curds are always what I got there. I had their Kerner Burger. And I'm like, this is fantastic. And so then I went and had their butter burger a week later. I'm like, this is also very good. Like, yeah, I did not realize how much I was missing out on by not getting Culver's, because I never really had one around in California and Washington. And so now I have one 5 miles away. It's added to the rotation. It's tough to get away from In-N-Out, but Culver's is added to the rotation. Let's look at. Should we add a 6th one to this? Because I got one locked and loaded.
We need one more here. What do you got?
So Terry McLaurin under 60.5 receiving yards, which this is great because this is actually the best, potentially, depending on how you want to do the juice, the best value out there, because Prize Picks has it at 60.5. Caesar's next best line at 58.5. Most places have it at 57.5. and I
Right.
think this is going to continue to move down. So
And it still
Dallas
shows
is
as a
not very
value.
good.
Like it's still on the Blitz. I mean, the Blitz has Terry McLaurin at 54, and it still shows that under 57.5 minus 110 on Bet 365 is still a 16% edge. So like 60.5. I mean, I'll take the extra 3 yards here and put the less in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, might as well. And I mean, McLaurin has just been incredibly hit or miss this season. Like it seems like either 20 yards and 2 targets or 100 yards and 6 targets. And he could very well end up with a 60-yard reception in this spot. Like it's absolutely in the realm of possibility. Dallas is not a good defense. They are definitely not a good defense. But this game likely isn't going to be that close. I mean, first of all, Dallas is going to eat up some more time when they have the ball because they're doing extremely low A-dot passes. Like I think Cooper Rush first week had a 2 A-dot per pass. Like last week, I don't even know what it was, but it was bad. 10.5-point spread, like one of the bigger ones we've seen. And Commanders, I think also, by the way, I think this might not be right, but I think double-digit favorites this season have covered at a ridiculous rate. I could be wrong there, but that's what it's kind of irrelevant because I'm just taking the under on McLaurin because Commanders likely to be leading this game. Daniels likely not going to be passing a ton in this game because of that lead. Dallas likely to eat up a lot of clock using the rush game, using high completion, low A-dot passes to CeeDee Lamb and other guys. So Washington could end up passing the ball a total of like 18 times in this game. That's realistically in the realm of possibilities. And yes, McLaurin can go for a 60-yard pass, but I'm willing to risk that. This line is drastically too high, in my opinion, over on Prize Picks. And even on other books, it's still far too high. So I already bet it. I really like this under, and I think it's a perfect addition. What are the total odds? What's the payout on the 6-pick parlay?
25x.
25x? All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's like it's their peer-to-peer. Like it's like you're guaranteed a payout or what. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the arena / champions / pick six DraftKings model because it used to be that if you pick stuff that other people weren't picking, that you could possibly like you're just going to get the pool. So it's like it's quite possible you could turn $25 into $4,000 if you're the only one that has like 6 out of 6. But they don't do that anymore. So like you get no really advantage on picking things that other people aren't, and that's what makes the rake much higher than it used to be on Prize Picks and Underdog. And here in Kentucky, I could only do the arena / champions style. I can't do the normal style. I mean, it's practically the same now anyway. So like I put out a Prize Picks thing for the sake of this show only because I think it's more universal for people that play DFS to be in states that probably offer this and maybe they don't have a sports book in the state. But for the most part, like the 6 things that we took today, I already have. Like I already have like in my regular portfolio on sites like Bet365 and BetMGM because maybe it's wrong, but I'm not greedy enough that I'm severely limited on either of those sites. Maybe I should have been.
Yeah, no,
maybe I should have been greedy.
I'm down to pretty much 3 books that I can actually get any money bet down. 4 technically. Circa is now in play, and they aren't going to limit me. Yeah, I mean there's always ways. Call up a friend in Vegas. Like, hey, you want to stop by the kiosk? But yeah, for my own personal accounts, it's I cannot even come close to getting any money down on Bet Rivers, MGM, or Bet365.
Right. The only one that I can't is Fanatics. Fanatics, I've never placed a bet on Fanatics. I was literally limited before placing a bet.
Yep. They scour some social media looking for guys who they like, this guy's going to be profitable. Yeah. Fanatics, I had a pretty long, decent amount of longevity betting on them, or at least back when they were points bet, just because I did a lot of live betting and they loved that. And so they kept my what's it called? My limits pretty high for a long time. And then Now it's down to just flat $10. And so now all I bet on there is home run parlays, hoping that they will raise my limits to $25 at some point. Just dreaming.
Okay. I tried to put in this pick thing before and it didn't go through because I don't know. On Chrome it's kind of weird, but I wanted to put it back up. Just to go over the overall card that we're using for this week. We got Bo Nix, more than 213.5 passing yards. Chuba Hubbard, more than 49.5 rushing yards. Rashad White, less than 42.5 rushing yards. Dalton Schultz, more than 24.5 receiving yards. Keenan Allen, more than 40.5 receiving yards. And Terry McLaurin, less than 60.5 receiving yards. And I'll try to submit this again. I mean, I pressed submit before. I mean, I typically use Prize Picks more on mobile. Right? It says successful lineup submitted. Okay. Yep. Right? But then I looked. Okay. Oh, so I did put it in twice because now my balance went down twice. Right? Because you go here and it's like, okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I got $50. So. I got $50 on it then. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's a good, nice little sweat for Sunday.
Do you have bonus? Do you have anything for tonight? That's still on the board of some value.
So that's still on the board is the main thing because
obviously numbers have moved. If you should have been betting this stuff like 2 or 3 days ago, but that's what I'm saying. As of like that still has some redeeming value.
Yeah.
On.
So I do have one Njoku, and this is if you can get it on ESPN, Bet365, Prize Picks, or MGM. So main ones under 45.5 receiving yards. So that's the main thing. If you're going to try and get an edge, you should do it earlier on the week. But certain unders are much better day of than they are before. So that's the one I got today. And so I'm taking under 45.5 receiving yards for Njoku. That's what I play for.
Can you explain, Grant? I'll do the thing where I know the answer, but I'll have you say it. Explain why some unders are better to not bet early.
Because people hate betting overs. Betting unders. People hate betting unders. Almost always within the few hours before game time, you will see like a 6% increase in overs in the hours leading up to the game. So a lot of times, while lines that are very off, sharp bettors will hit the under earlier on in the week. If they're still moderately sharp, like David Njoku, who at the beginning of the week, I'm guaranteeing it was probably at like 37, 36 because of the weather. It's been bet up and it's a little bit too high now. And now certain sites are starting to have the line come down a little bit because sharp bettors like me have been waiting for it to go up. And now it's dropping down. So, yeah, numbers just a little bit too high. Weather's going to have an impact. And, again, people just love betting over. So it moves up throughout the week, and then sharp bettors will hit it down, and then it'll go down too much, and people are going to start throwing money in before game time, and it'll slowly move back up.
And this is especially true for the island games.
Yeah.
Thursday night football, Monday night football.
Absolutely true for the island games.
Right. Because there's more eyes on like, what I'm going to watch the game tonight. What do I want to root for? I want to root for things to happen, so I bet overs. I don't want to root for things not to happen, right?
Yep.
And there was a thread I did before we get out of here. I don't know if you saw the thread on Twitter or something, or some argument. I don't know between who I made from around the industry about someone arguing that they'd rather not bet. They'd rather bet an over that has no value than bet an under that has value.
Yeah.
Like what is the what if you're tuning into a show like this, isn't your goal to make money? Isn't your goal to don't you want to win?
Some people's goal is just entertainment.
Right.
Yeah. Some people's goals I still throw out long shot parlays for funsies sometimes just for entertainment. I'm granted it's 1/10, 1/20th, 1/50th the amount I'll have on my normal bets. But I mean, I've finally gotten into the point where like every single week I get that touchdown boost on FanDuel, and I'm like, this may be at worst negative EV, but more likely net even or slightly positive EV. But with a 30% boost, it's positive EV. But I love that sweat of that 6-leg parlay, $10 into $4,000, even though sometimes like a parlay or a touchdown would be like, oh, that just lost me $500 on another bet. But I'm still having fun with that parlay. I know the numbers are the numbers. I'm doing that for enjoyment.
What I enjoy, the sweats that I enjoy the most are the I call them the crap player sweats, the garbage players. Only because what ends up happening is that I play poker at night a lot now. So people ask me like, what do you got in the game? You always got the idiots. That most people know by now that I only bet props, but like my favorite props are when I tell them it's like I have Jeremy Ruckert under a half a reception at plus 140. And they're like, who's Jeremy Ruckert? It's like, he's the second tight end on the Jets. And you know what I'm sweating? I'm sweating for him never to catch a pass. That's what I'm sweating. I'm hoping not to see his number called. Or it's the opposite of like, I have like the 5th wide receiver for like over 7.5 receiving yards. And it's like, and then a screen pass, a 6-yard screen pass. It's like, did he get over the number? Like, because normal people like look at you like you're absolutely nuts to bet on like these types of players, because they're like, oh, they have I got Christian McCaffrey's over whatever the hell and everything. It's like, yeah, I got Eric Saubert over 9.5 over 9.5 receiving yards, while everyone else is playing like McCaffrey and Purdy and stuff like that. Or the one with Kyle Juszczyk. I remember I bet Kyle Juszczyk's like reception prop when when Mason was out and stuff like that, and people thought it was like, what made you think about betting on Juszczyk? It's like, well, because they're probably going to use him without all these guys. It's like Shanahan uses this guy. So I thought the receiving prop was like 5 yards or something. It's like, dude, you're just going to touch the ball. And then, of course, he gets over that in like 7 minutes into the first quarter. And people are looking at me like I'm like Mr. Magician. Like, how did you know that? It's like, it's I don't know. You model these things out. I look at the blitz.
Yeah, it's very simple. Like, yes, you're better off doing a lot of research and spending 40 hours, 50 hours a week researching like I am. And then, like, I still use the blitz. I still use line shopping, going off of other large amounts of line movement. But, like, if you are not willing to put in a huge amount of time into sports betting or prize picks or any of that, just follow RG projections, follow the blitz projections, and go off of that. If you're not going to spend all the time, makes it really simple. Just use projections. And if they're good projections like the blitz or RotoGrinders projections, you're going to win long term.
They'll be profitable. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's the key over time. And I mean, like we have all of our statistical projections at RG that you could get as part of the combo premium package, as well as in the props and pick'em package, right? If you get the even smaller one. So I mean, to me, like to me, it's too cheap. Like it's like you can get all of our statistical, the NHL ones. I personally, I wish people didn't know about. I don't want people to. I do not want people to bet the RG NHL projections because they're too damn good. And if more people know about it, then the market will get fucking crushed.
Yeah, I intentionally don't move lines to you guys in NHL because I could get $25, $30 down on NHL bets, have a 20% ROI on RotoGrinders projections. I'm going to move the line every single time if I'm putting down a $25 bet. You guys can just have that money because it's not worth it to me to make $250 on a bet and cost other people potential $100.
So sign up for that stuff. Click on the link in the description. If you want a combo premium package, it's $40 off your first month. Click on the link below, or get the props and pick 'em stuff. Get all of our statistical projections. You can download them via CSV and use them any way you want. So if you build your own kind of little thing in Excel or Google Sheets, or you have your own Python code, or you're doing everything else. I mean, you could just extract it from the site. You don't even have to look at it. On the like kind of like the tabulated kind of pages. You just download all the data and use it to your heart's extent. So Grant, what do you got going on? What are you doing these days on Scores and Odds? I see videos in my Twitter feed. I'm more in the RotoGrinders world, but not necessarily in the more outwardly, better collective streets. So any stuff that you want to promote that's going on the next couple of days?
I mean, sign up for Scores and Odds, sign up for Action Pro. Place bets on there. You get notifications before other people do, so the line doesn't move. Or if you just want all my bets, sign up for Parlay Science. Literally, I throw in every single one of my bets just into the Discord. If you want simple, I don't want to do any research, I just want picks given to me. Parlay Science Discord. I'm literally just, here's my bets for today. Here's my bets.
Right. So if people join that Discord, like when you click submit on a bet on your end, it's just like post, like it will be there.
I mean, it won't be there immediately because I don't want to just blow people up. So generally, like I'll throw it in batches. So okay. I threw in one at 8:03, 2 bets for Monday Night Football that I made over 10 minutes. And then at 8:44, 8 different bets for the weekend that I made over the course of 20 minutes. So I could just throw it in as soon as I bet it, but I generally throw in batches, so you're not just like looking back every few minutes. And if I know a line's going to move quickly, I'll throw it in immediately. But most of the time, outside of one book that I bet, where the line's going to move automatically because I bet it there, it's not going to move.
So where can people get that stuff? Because that's not in the RotoGrinders Discord.
No, it's a Parlay Science Discord. Go over to my Twitter. The link for it is in my bio. I hate that this is the first time I've ever said link in bio. And that I feel like one of those darn people that I see on the TikTok. But yeah, link to it is my bio, or go over to Parlay Science, use code Grant. Maybe, I don't even know what my code is over there. I get a kickback.
The marketing end, Grant. You may do well on your betting, but you may have to step up your salesmanship and your marketing of like, I don't know what kind of where it is. It's like it's there, and maybe my code is this, and okay, sure.
I mean, I've been up since 6 a.m. and all I'm doing is dreaming about
the Taco Bell. What are you going out to pick it up, or are you getting it delivered?
I'm going to go pick it up. I need to leave the house once a day. So
right. Do you still have the gift card? Dean wants to know.
I do not. I went through all of them. He got me like 20 or not 20, probably $15 gift cards for a wedding present, or as part of a wedding present. And it pissed me off.
Truthfully, Grant, was that the best wedding present you got?
No, it would have been if he would have just gotten a $200 gift card. But I had to sit there and input into the app all 15 codes for the gift cards, and it was infuriating.
But cash would have been better. You could have spent the cash on Taco Bell as it is, right?
Yeah. Most of the cash I got, like the actual physical cash I got for my wedding, blew all of it in the casino on the cruise I went on for the honeymoon, and I was very happy about that.
Well, that's what you want, right? So you can follow Grant on Twitter, GNefer07, right?
Yep.
Do I even have to bother? Yep. People aren't going to be able to spell it, and they're not going to be able to find your bio. So good luck with that. Right, go follow me.
Grant Nefer.
Right, just search for his name. He's there. You can follow me on Twitter at BlenderHD. Tomorrow I'll be doing a GPP strategy for the Week 12 slate on DraftKings. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. Give me those thumbs. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to always know when we go live here on the channel. Because I'm always here for you Tuesday through Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern, talking about all things you're thinking about in daily fantasy, props, and pick'em on RotoGrinders Today.